So what we have here is the GT Sensor Carbon Expert. You'd expect from the name that you'd have a full carbon bike, but what we really have is a carbon front end mated to an alloy back end. The whole system is based around GT's almost legendary iDrive system, which has been around for donkey's years. It provides 130mm of suspension at the back, and this is mated to 140mm of suspension up front. The iDrive suspension is kind of a little bit love-hate. Some people really get on with it. Others don't quite like how the pedalling is influenced by the braking and vice versa. But if you're looking for a bike which is sort of really capable on looser climbs, the iDrive is a really dependable system. That 130mm suspension at the back is controlled by a Fox Float DPS shock, which is one of our favourite shocks on the market. Up front, that 140mm suspension is controlled by a Fox 34, which is the performance level with the Fit 4 damper. The Sensor Carbon Expert is one of only a couple of bikes in the whole test which comes with a 2x-group set. Shimano have provided the cassette and the shifters and the mechs, and Raceface have provided their effect chain set with a 26 and a 36 tooth ring on it. If climbing long, steep and technical climbs is your thing, then A, the iDrive system's great for this, and B, having that lower sort of gear ratios at the back end probably will help you in this. So while many people might prefer to have a 1x-group, there is certainly a section of riders who will appreciate having this wider spread of gears. Shimano also provide the Slx Brakes, and these are really powerful, handy stoppers that we're really happy to see on a lot of bikes. You also get Slx hubs, which is built into a WTB i23 rim. The i23 rim has an internal width of 23mm, which gives the pair of Maxxis Ardent tyres a really nice sort of big profile on the wheel. Finally, looking at the cockpit, we've got a Raceface Ride setup. So Ride is sort of Raceface's lower mid-end group, and it's really nice kit. And then further back, we've got a KS Lev seat post. So I'm going to pass over to Guy Kestevan, who's going to tell you a little bit more about how the bike rides.
I'm actually old enough to remember when GT introduced the iDrive suspension in a cloud of dry ice in Utah back in the late 90s, and it's pretty impressive that it's still a relevant way to connect a bike to the trail even now. It's certainly distinctive. The floating drive chain means that there's a lot of rear wheel movement, and also your feet are moving independent of the main frame, which to some people feels weird and unnatural. To others, it's a great shortcut to amazing climbing traction and just consistent grip, whether you're cornering, climbing or braking. GT have done a great job of packaging the system into a really neat looking carbon fibre frame, you know, accentuated on this bike with a full-on murdered out stealth look. Again, it's another mid-travel bike where the more progressive riders on our test team were maybe wanting a little more fork travel and a slightly slacker head angle. But this, you know, it's a bike for the masses. If you want to go big, if you want a bike that throws a front wheel out front and goes flat out fast, get the Force. That's the bike that GT intend for more aggressive riders. In terms of all-day riding, whether it's climbing, traversing technical trails, or just letting it rip on the downhills, GT's distinctive ride is great. Considering the complexity of the suspension system and the number of pivots and the fact it's very different, very durable as well. We ran a GT long-termer all last year and it never skipped a beat. And again, it's another bike where the product managers have really got the specs sorted. And the Fox 34 fork up front feels great, it's the right colour, and the whole bike hangs together really well. So, you know, get down to your GT dealer, sort out a bike in the right size, and you'll be gripping and you'll be grinning for a long time to come.
So there we have the GT Sensor Carbon Expert. Some people may not quite get on with the iDrive system, but for those who do, what we have is a really capable bike that swallows up anything in its path and is really happy then trundling back to the top of the hill, regardless of how technical or loose the surface is. We'll be bringing you videos from the top 12 bikes in Trail Bike of the Year, so check out the playlist for links to the rest of them.